Hi guys, I hope you're doing very well. This video is sponsored by Match Bingo. Match Bingo is an easy way of having fun when it comes to betting on the football. Now, think of bingo, but without numbers. So rather than having 10, 12, 5, you would have corners, yellow cards, and goals, for example. And that would be an example of a line. Now, you can win up to £175 each game with Match Bingo. There are some games you can win more, and spend is only capped at £2. All right, so if you're worried about not playing responsibly, this is probably a good game for you. I do just want to give these guys a little bit of appreciation as well, because 35% of the money they make actually goes to the Stroke Association, which is really, really good, to be fair. I don't know many companies that do that. Let me know what you guys think. Click the link in the description and make sure you're over 18 as well.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to a new episode of Round the Corner. After beating Manchester United 4-3 at home in what was an absolutely crazy night, it's time to settle down a little bit because we've got to travel to Sheffield United on Sunday, and you would think that this should be an easy game. Sheffield United are bottom of the table. They have been beaten left, right and centre, suffering scorelines of 3, 4, 5, even 6. But they also have been able to make it trickier for some teams. They have been scoring goals, have picked up a few draws, and even when they came to Stamford Bridge, they didn't make it easy. So we must reset, focus on this one, because not being able to beat Sheffield United on Sunday basically undoes all our hard work against Manchester United on Thursday. So it is absolutely crucial that we go there and leave with 3 points, because from here on we've got Everton next, and then we obviously have to face Manchester City in an FA Cup semi-final. So after that we've got Arsenal, there's been the Tottenham game that's been rescheduled, we've got Aston Villa as well. Lots of difficult games to round out this season. So if we want something out of it, if we want to actually look serious competing for those European spots, we must put up a fight, and there is everything now to play for. We need those 3 points. So going away to Sheffield on Sunday is going to be a must-win game. Now, obviously, it could have been a completely different result Thursday night. A lot of people left at 90 minutes, 3-2, down at Man United. Another league defeat against them would have done the double over us, but thankfully, we have someone like Cole Palmer, who is absolutely exceptional, such a clutch player, and one that has basically been carrying us through. Eden Hazard, if you like, basically him-esque, because he has been so good at scoring these important goals against Manchester City at home, arguably a game that we should have won. He again scored the equalising penalty. He was the reason we took a point away from that one as well. There's been so many games now that I can't even think of off the top of my head where he has basically been crucial in deciding whether we leave with 3 or a point or nothing, which is absolutely insane for a player that's just arrived, is in his first season at Chelsea, and is just balling out. So long may it continue. Cole Palmer, fine form, absolutely brilliant, and I don't actually think that Pochettino is going to make too many changes to what we saw. I think we can all agree that defensively we've not looked great. It's obviously reflected in the scorelines in our last games as well, because we've conceded 2 goals in 6 games in a row now, and against Man United we conceded 3 even. So clearly we have holes in the back line. Some people have said that Petrovic has had a few mistakes now in the last couple of games, but I won't even place that much blame on the goalkeeper. I think his defenders and his back line have let him down at many points, you know, leaving players one-on-one. And it's just been a bit hard to find that stability in our back line. Many people said Thiago Silva's the problem, but Thiago Silva hasn't been playing in any of these games. So clearly there is another problem. Now, I've got a lot of solidity in the right back role with Malo Gusto, someone that you can trust, and he has arguably been our best defender, you know, since Thiago Silva's been out and no longer playing. Malo Gusto has really lived up to everything, and he's not only good defensively, he's also good offensively. And again, he had a lot of contribution against Man United as well. Obviously got an assist, and Gusto's another one of those players where you think he could have much higher numbers had we been more clinical and actually capitalised on a lot of his passes, a lot of his crosses, because the boy knows what he's doing, and he's, what, 20 years old, so much to come from him. But in that regard, would you guys let me know in the comments down below, would you make changes to our back line? Would you start maybe Trevor Chalobah for this one? I don't know if Pochettino would go as far as starting someone like Alfie Gilchrist. He got some minutes on Thursday night, but is he ready to start another game? Again, could say yeah, probably, why not? If we've got Badiashile and Disasi making mistakes, they're hot and cold. I'd argue Disasi has been better than Badiashile, because I think Badiashile looks very insecure to me. I think he's I saw this very timid body language from him, where as soon as he receives the ball he just wants to get rid of it, and there's no longer that composure that I saw when he was playing alongside Thiago Silva. I don't know if that's a coincidence. I don't know if he's struggling with self-esteem, or he's had a tough time excuse me, coming back from injury, or something else. But again, I can see a lot of faults to his game. So maybe this is the perfect opportunity to give someone like Trevor Chalobah a start, because I really miss Chalobah. I think, again, he's been so unlucky in the last year with, one, injuries, two, having a very uncertain future at Chelsea as a whole. He's been in talks in a lot of our last sort of couple transfer windows, whether he is going to move on from Chelsea, whether we will generate pure profit from him. But I still think he's got something to show. And one thing about Trevor Chalobah is he doesn't have to prove anything to Chelsea fans in terms of his loyalty or anything like that, because proper Chelsea gets thrown around easily nowadays. But Trevor Chalobah is that, so I would actually give him a chance for this one. Maybe that's a change I'll make in the back line. Let me know what you think. Left back, obviously Cucurella was up against Anthony. I think on the most part, it was quite difficult. Anthony's a pacey player. I think he did actually play quite well against us. Obviously got a brilliant assist, can't take away from that. And naturally, I just think that at times Cucurella has done brilliantly a lot of the times against the Prem's wingers where he has played. And I think, he's got a lot of proving to do. So probably you can't really do much else than give him this game to play, because Ben Chilwell's out still and injured. So I think on the most part, keeping it the same, maybe give Trev a start. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd be eager to find out. Maybe it's just a case of Badiashile needs some extra training, some time out. I'm not too sure, but I look at Sheffield United and I just do think it could be possible that we concede. We will give them a chance. That's just how it is. We beat Man United 4-3 when we were literally 3-2 down at 90 minutes, but against lower level opposition we always struggle. It's just always hard. So I actually can't say with chest that we will not let Sheffield United score and we'll keep a clean sheet. We could, it's not to say we won't, but again, we are travelling away. We have always struggles against lower level opposition, so I'm not too sure what to think about this one. Now, again, moving into midfield and further up the pitch, I don't think we'll see much change, really. Maybe in our front line, but I don't really think so. For me, I think Caicedo and Enzo will start alongside each other, Gallagher just further in front, because again, I think Pochettino is trying to push these partnerships a lot more. He's trying to build a consistent chemistry in the team as opposed to chopping and changing things. Because yes, I am an advocate for Carney Chukwuemeka to get game time. I think some might say he's maybe better and more effective as a super sub, coming in and switching it up, being a little bit more creative. He's a very forward-thinking player as well, which is always welcome. A lot of our players have this season received the ball maybe on a break, on a counter, and decided to pass back. Carney's not that type of player, and he will try something a little bit more risky, if you like, but, because, yeah, risk and you don't know what you get. But in regards to our front line, guys, I think, obviously Cole Palmer starts. Basically, Palmer role. Who is taking Palmer's position? Nobody. Unless he needs a rest, which I don't think he does, because yeah, it looks so effortless, guys, as well for him. Palmer doesn't strike me as someone that can get tired. It's actually quite insane. Consistently will run about. He tracks back to help defensively. He's always further up there whether he's driving the ball, carrying it, or he is making a run to receive the ball from somewhere else. A lot of stamina. So yeah, Cole Palmer starts for me, no if, buts or maybes. Now, I think you can have a conversation though on the other side on our left flank who you might start. I think many people have been quite happy to see Mudryk starting. We collectively have not been very happy with Raheem Sterling's performances on the most part this season. So again, he is clearly someone that's coming on as a sub. Pochettino maybe sees him as someone that could perhaps change the game, you know, in a similar way where he assisted Cole Palmer against Leicester in a very clean sort of way. But you know, I still see a lot of weakness in Sterling's game. He dribbles through a couple players, but he just dribbles into a brick wall after that. He doesn't time his passes well, you know, he won't make the correct decision, or he'll try and shoot instead of squaring it when someone's literally open. And again, it's just too many of those where you just don't really know, so you're almost thinking, well, why don't we give the younger player a chance to play? If you're kind of getting weaknesses in both, why don't let the younger player in Mikhailo Mudryk, for example, start? So I don't know, maybe. But that being said, guys, obviously I know that Cole Palmer's position on the right is almost locked now and nobody can take it. But Noni Madueke for some also deserves game time. I mean, he obviously came on and he was the one that won us the penalty for Cole Palmer's equaliser. And he's a great dribbler. You know, he's very, again, confident in the fact that he will try and take on his man as opposed to releasing the ball. But again, maybe that's a little bit of a raw talent that you should perhaps be developing, maybe building him as a substitute, because I think Noni Madueke brings a lot of pace, he brings a lot of energy, and maybe that's something you need perhaps in like a second half of football. So I don't know, I don't think he will get a start, but that being said, maybe he will, because Pochettino might see this as an opportunity. But again, if he is going to stick to his words where he wants to just push these partnerships rather than chopping and changing too much when it's not necessary, yeah, for me, that's probably what will happen. And then leading the front line up top, it's going to be nobody else other than Nicholas Jackson. Jackson has been criticised this season, he's been praised, he's been under a lot of scrutiny as a young striker in his first season in the Premier League in a team like Chelsea where it's just not been very good this season. He's been trying his best. I think he's a much more suited sort of player that comes from deep, carries the ball well, brings others into play. I think at times he's very isolated, and I particularly think that in a game where we're playing a Sheffield United where they will maybe sit back on us and make it really like difficult to break through, I think maybe these are the games where Jackson struggles, because I think he plays better when he's got more space and he can have more time to assess his options, because I also like kind of don't really trust him when he's got when he's just left at the very top of our attack, because again, he's just a bit isolated. But yeah, I just think that's what's going to happen. You've got to push him, you've got to let him develop, get better, and who knows, maybe he will get a goal against Sheffield United. But yeah, guys, that's my lineup. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with anything, if you would make any changes, if you'd play the same team, if you would do something else. But yeah, obviously, again, like I said at the start of this video, this will mean nothing. The win against Man United will mean absolutely nothing if we don't beat Sheffield United. It's just a must-win game, seriously. Like, I know it was great we haven't beat Man United in the league since 2017. It was obviously much more than just the 3 points against them at Stamford Bridge, but we have a job to do and we need to win those next 2 games. Like 6 out of 6 points, please, Chelsea. Anyways, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the likes on the video, subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you haven't done so already, and also check out my personal channel, which will be linked in the description down below. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and up the Chelsea.